Hi all and welcome to the fifth part of our Chainguard video series. I'm Sam Ward, a technical consultant from Somerford Associates, and I'll be running you through the basics of the Chainguard Helm Charts today. So first things first, we'll go through what Helm Charts are if you're not familiar with them, what Kubernetes is and how Chainguard approaches Helm Charts. So Kubernetes, or Kube, or KS, is an extensible open source platform that is used to automate the deployment, scaling, and management of containerized applications. Simply put, it serves as a container orchestrator that manages complex, distributed, microservices-based applications across hybrid and public cloud environments. In a standard Kubernetes workflow, you manage individual YAML configuration files, things like deployments, services, or config maps, and when applications get complex, it starts to get pretty hard to manage these static files. And you can solve this by using Helm and turning the stack files into dynamic manifests. So Helm is basically just like a package manager for Kubernetes and is designed specifically to simplify the definition, installation, upgrade, and management of complex applications through automation. We have a handy little chart here where you can see the different YAML files. So you've got Chart.yaml, which is a YAML file containing metadata about the chart, name version, API version, that kind of thing. Values.yaml, this is where you configure your values for the chart, and this is where the users customize your installation. Then you've got the templates folder, which is a directory containing Kubernetes manifest templates that use the Go template language, if you're familiar with Go. You've got the charts directory that contains subcharts like dependencies that the chart you're making relies on or using. And then helpers.tpl is optional, and it's a place to define reusable template logic, or you can name templates, that kind of thing. So Helm uses charts, which are reusable templated YAML packages, which are used to replace manual kubectl operations, which allows for versioning, easy rollbacks, and configuration management across different environments. But what's the point here? Let's say you have 10 different environments. You don't want 10 deployment files. You want one template and 10 small value files. This ensures maximum efficiency and reduces complexity massively. And without Helm, we're running kubectl apply-f on all the files that you need to use. So that's a huge time saver. The other huge benefit to Helm charts is that just like Docker and images, you can grab a Helm chart from a public repository, something like Artifact Hub, find the official Helm chart, and install it in seconds to get your own version of enterprise-grade software running in a production-ready state without needing to be an expert in something like YAML or Kubernetes in general. Now, where does Chainguard come in? Well, the problem with standard public Helm charts is that they are often quite heavy. So when you pull a community MongoDB chart, it might come with 5 or 6 different images to handle the database, the metrics, and the setup scripts. And usually these are built on bloated operating systems like Debian or Ubuntu, meaning that you've accidentally imported hundreds of known vulnerabilities, CVEs, on day one before you even thought about starting development. So Chainguard solved this by providing a hardened upstream charts. This means that instead of making you build a secure deployment from scratch, Chainguard takes the industry standard charts you already use and rebuilds them in a secure environment known as the Chainguard Factory that we've mentioned in other videos. And this is basically a high integrity automated pipeline that maps every upstream dependency to its minimal 0 CVE equivalent. And it goes beyond simple find and replace mechanics as well, by subjecting the entire chart to rigorous functional validation. This ensures that the hardened components work the way you need them to, while removing the CVEs. Additionally, to guarantee full transparency, the factory cryptographically signs every artifact and generates a comprehensive SBOM or software bill of materials, and this provides a verified audit-ready chain of custody for your production environment. We'll now have a look at the Chainguard registry. And when we open this up, we can see the entire Chainguard catalog, or what charts we have with our organization. So we can have a look at the Chainguard catalog, and we'll see that there are 159 different Helm charts that Chainguard offer. At the moment, my organization has 5. We have Kafka, Keycloak, MongoDB, MySQL, and PostgreSQL. So let's click on to Kafka, and we can look here. So first, when we click on it, we'll have the overview tab for this Helm chart. This is like the home page for all information on your Helm chart and how to use it. It gives you a detailed description on what is included in the Helm chart, how to use it, what the images are as well here. So you can see you've got Kafka unguarded, JMX Explorer unguarded, OSL unguarded, and kubectl unguarded. And it also gives you the very important pull URL, which is the OCI address you'll use in your terminal to actually grab the chart and download it. So let's have a quick look at chart versions. As these Helm charts update very frequently, this tab lets you see the history of the specified Helm chart, and you can see the latest version of the Helm chart in this case, but you can also roll back to older versions if your environment isn't ready for the newest update. Each version here is cryptographically signed as well, so you know exactly what you're getting. And if we click on it, we can see the default values, chart metadata, the images again, and any subcharts that are used. Next up is the default values tab. This is a configuration map that we mentioned earlier, or the config map, and every Helm chart has values.yaml file that tells Kubernetes how to set up the application or infrastructure as well. And this tab lets you browse the file right here in the browser instead of downloading it. And here you can look through the file to understand better how to customize and configure it in your own environment. So for example, if you'd like to customize the storage limit or change the number of replicas in your cluster, this is the file where you change that. And one very important thing to note as well is that Chainguard's console allows you to search these values by key as well, which is much faster than searching through a 400-line YAML file in a text editor. And you can also download it as well if you want to. Next, we'll go to the chart metadata tab here. And this is basically like the ID card of your Helm chart, and it pulls the technical details from the Chart.yaml file and shows us the API version, the app version, and the maintainer of the chart too. So we can look here, we've got annotations as well, version, and we can see dependencies. Amazing. Lastly, we have the images tab. So like we saw before, we can see a list of the images and we can dive into them a little bit further, and we can see exactly the information it needed: licenses, compliance, authentication, Helm chart installation, and additional information. Then we can also go to comparison as well to have a look at the CVEs. If there's any, there's none in this one, which is typical of Chainguard. And this is sort of the key to understanding the differences between a Helm chart and an image as well in general. So a Helm chart isn't just, one thing. It's a neat little bundle. As you can see here, the Kafka Helm chart contains 4 different images, like we said. So this is fantastic. And that's all for this video. So thank you very much for watching. This is just a very quick and basic dive into Helm charts and what Chainguard offers. Thank you very much. And we will see you in the next videos.